Hi, this is Jo and welcome to my Inspired Action Minisode series. These episodes are meant to help you think about your business in a new way and to take inspired action. Join me as I walk around my London neighbourhood and I discuss the most asked questions I get as a business coach. Let's dive in. If you've been listening to me for a while, you know how much I love my morning walks and my morning routine. And I go into the woods that are literally just behind my house and walk along, listening to a podcast, often Abraham Hicks. But more recently, I've also started taking wild bird seed with me to feed my swans. I call them my swans because I just feel an incredible connection with them. The cygnets were born, maybe 8 months ago. And they're literally on the cusp of adulthood now. They are fully grown. There are 5 of them, plus mum and dad. So there's 7 swans that paddle around on the lake nearby where I live. And they are turning their feathers from sort of a downy brown into white. Their beaks are changing from brown into orange. And it won't be too long before they fly away. But I've been getting into the routine, now it's winter time, or on the way to winter, of bringing some wild bird seed with me and feeding the swans and the multitude of ducks and other waterfowl and seagulls that come along for the leftovers. But my swans, when they see me coming, they literally glide across the lake, all of them, all 7, and come to the bank where I'm standing and come out of the water and straight up to me. And at least 2 of them love being hand-fed. I never thought that I would hand-feed swans, let alone fully grown, stunning animals like these. And they come over and I hold my palm out flat with the bird seed on it. And at least 2 of them love eating straight out my hand. I just feel, a real spiritual connection to them. It's a wonderful experience. But one of these swans, one of the babies, large babies, has got a little bit bold. And he or she comes over to me. And if I don't hold up my hand with a nice fresh pile of bird seed on it, they peck at my coat sleeve and pull at me, and much like a pet would, going, feed me. And I'm like, all right, come on then. I'm going to hold up my hand and you can have some more. And funnily enough, this one gets the most bird seed. It's funny how when you kind of put yourself forward and demand not to be ignored in some way, you get rewarded. I remember in my corporate days, we called it the squeaky wheel gets the most grease. And this was the employees that would put their head above the parapet and say, I'm not being rewarded enough for the contribution that I'm making. I want a promotion. I need a pay rise. And so often as management and as leadership, we would decide to reward them because they were in our face. They were demanding that we look at what they'd achieved and at what they'd done until we agreed or we basically gave up arguing the point anymore. Yes, this person is all that. And actually, in many cases, you're pleased that they drew your attention to it because you're able to give them more responsibility or actually get more from them as an employee in terms of contribution because they are feeling so much more spirited because they're being rewarded. And so it is a virtuous circle. And within entrepreneurship, this couldn't be more true, and something that I am spending a lot of time thinking about for myself and also for my clients. And this is how we so often hide aspects of our uniqueness because we are scared to put our head above the parapet, scared to draw attention to ourselves because the imposter syndrome will kick in. So will that fear of judgment. And before we know it, we are hiding big parts of who we are. Even whilst we're building soul-based businesses where we know that bringing our true authenticity will reap the rewards. And let me remind you that when I say reap the rewards, I'm talking about how when you are true in your authenticity, more of your dream soul clients gravitate towards your message. Because as you show up talking about the things that matter most to you, that is what exactly will resonate with them too, if they are your soul clients. Because our soul clients are often us, or at least as we were a year ago, 5 years ago, or longer. They were us before we found the techniques and the tools and the inspiration to make changes in our lives. Now, you do not have to be the finished article. This is something that I struggled with so much. I thought, well, hang on a minute. If I'm going to teach something, doesn't that mean that I have to have completely overcome it? And I have to be in a place of almost enlightenment, right? Before I can share this. And I've realized that not only is not the case, but it couldn't be further from the truth. I'm working with phenomenal mentors at the moment who revel in the fact that they are still leveling up and they're still finding new ways to become who they need to be in the future. And the same is true for me. As I look back on my history and I look back over the 20 years working in corporate, working in marketing and advertising, leading teams, being responsible for large £1 million budgets. And I think to myself, well, actually, I have so much I can bring, even whilst I'm learning more. And for me, it was that struggle about letting go and realizing that I didn't have to live my life at that high level of stress all the time. And that actually I didn't have to hide parts of myself. And as I moved into entrepreneurship, I actually didn't even understand that there were parts of myself that could be elevated, that actually could help people. And most recently, I came to the realization that whilst I'm really proud of being a certified pranic healer, it wasn't even something that I'd spoken about as part of my business. It was like I had decided that my woo-woo and spiritual side only could come into my business 10%, maybe 20% on a good day. And actually, I was more about the practical side of productivity and helping people overcome specific challenges, building their online business, around their marketing, around their avatar. But I've realized most recently that actually my true power comes into play when I bring all those parts of me together, where I take the parts that are more spiritual and moreover, the practices I regularly do that can help my dream clients. And so much so, women like me, women who are strivers and doers, and work really hard and don't understand that letting go is the fundamental part of actually magnetizing all that you want in the world. And I go further than that. It's not that they don't understand, it's that they haven't found the techniques to actually access and activate that part of who they are yet. If that's you, you are going to be understanding this so well because this is coming straight from my heart. It's about the fact that sometimes we mistake the busy work for the real inner work when we're building our business. And so it is that I've realized that actually the techniques I use in pranic healing, which actually, as soon as I finish recording this, I'm going to start doing my meditation and I'm going to do this practice. It takes like 5 minutes. And all it is, I say all it is, it's massive. But in practice, it's just an energetic way of moving the negative energy out of your aura and away from the space immediately around yourself. Yes, because it's pranic healing, I work with the energy to actually move it further from us and draw in the positive energy. But as we think about it, it's about intention and it's about having that moment to realize what it is over the last 7 days, as it is in my practice, that actually hasn't served you and calling in the higher you, the spiritual side that actually knows that all of what is on the other side is about love and compassion and actually freeing yourself from the self-judgment and the self-criticism. And so back to our lovely swan that I spoke about, the swan who isn't afraid to be unapologetically themselves. If they're hungry, they're coming. If that swan wants my attention, they've got it because they're not afraid to behave differently to the other swans. And they're not criticizing themselves as they lean into their true authenticity. And that's really where I'm going with this today. It's about being uniquely you, all parts of you. The parts that actually have been your secret saviors, the parts you don't talk about as much. And believe me, I've been doing this work for a long time. And if I can suddenly realize I have a certification in an energy modality that I have not brought to my clients and into my business, trust me, you've got plenty of things that you could be thinking of too. I sat down with a new client just this week and we were going through some elements of who she is in her uniqueness. She's building a new Reiki business. She's a very talented energy healer and so much in her past is relevant to the people and avatars she should be serving most. But even so, as we went through it, we uncovered aspects of who she is that she'd never even considered drawing into her business model. And that's where my superpower is. I love looking at what people have in their lives and making that leap between something that might have happened in your life, an interest, an experience, and uncovering a special niche and a special business offer that makes it uniquely yours. So it differentiates and makes you stand out in the crowd. It calls in your soul clients. And even more so, it lights you up, because finally, when we talk about working in our purpose, you're able to bring all the aspects of yourself that you are fascinated by, all the experiences that you have chosen to have over the years and the experiences you have overcome give you an opportunity to be uniquely you. And so many times I've been asked about how you come up with content, how you resonate. And I hope that my message is resonating with you. The reality is that this has come through me simply because it's who I am. It is my message to give. It's bringing aspects of my beliefs and my thoughts over a period of time into the manifestation of a pure message that comes straight from my heart, hopefully straight to yours. And so my inspired action invitation to you today is to think about some aspects of yourself that you may not be bringing into your business, that actually it's time to uncover and to shine a light on. It's time for you to rise in your uniqueness. And if you'd like to chat to me about how I can help you do that, please do jump on to a strategy call with me. I'll put the link in my show notes. And so have an awesome, inspired action week. Take care. Bye now.